Virtual Summit is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. The Plexus Virtual Summit independent ambassadors of Plexus and Plexus Worldwide do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any diseases and take no responsibility for personal actions after the summit. Always consult with your doctor before beginning any diet or exercise program. Most participants in the summit are not medical personnel, and those who are do not know your medical history, so please consult your physician if there are any concerns prior to and during your Plexus journey. All inspirational testimonies, posts, and tips should not be considered medical advice and are not representative of Plexus Worldwide. They are tips, inspiration, and motivation provided to you based solely on personal results or opinions of the individual speaker or poster. Dr. Michael, are you there? If you are, can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So tell me, give everybody a little bit of background, who you are, where you are, and what type of practice you have.
Well, I am a chiropractic physician. I have a large practice in the middle of Missouri where we are completely frozen over right now. We had a half an inch of ice last night. We have a fairly large but diverse practice. Because we're in a smaller town, smaller community, we see a lot of different types of patients, from children to adults to geriatric cases. We treat a lot of sports injuries and things. But the predominance of our practice is based on people coming to see us with a lot of inflammatory conditions, and that's kind of how we got introduced to Plexus as an answer to help us work with our patients who have those inflammatory conditions.
Now, do I remember correctly that you actually had Plexus introduced to you by a patient?
Yeah, it was kind of funny how that started. We had it introduced to us by a patient. My nutritionist, Jessica, was actually introduced to it first, and she was doing a nutritional consultation with a patient one day, and the patient had mentioned it, and my nutritionist kind of looked into it a little bit and thought it sounded like a pretty good program, pretty good product, and so together we kind of vetted it out, and through that process we just really saw that it had a great fit in our practice for us.
Well, that's pretty cool that it came to you instead of you seeking it out. Tell me what you found with our products that once you guys started researching it and everything that really just drew you in to being something that you totally loved and wanted to represent through your practice.
Well, it was really several things. Of course, the fact that it's all natural and diabetic safe, that was a big component. The fact that it really attacked the candida problem that we see with so many of our patients, and that's the basis of a lot of the inflammatory problems that we see with patients. You know, one of the really interesting things that kind of sold me on the idea that this was a good product was the 3 and 7 day packs. And when we first looked into the product, I thought, okay, these guys are either really crazy and they're going to give away a lot of product with trying to put people on 3 and 7 day short-term, short stints with a product where the people potentially aren't going to see any results, or they've really got something that is going to trigger people to see results very, very quickly. And when the latter came about, that patients saw results so quickly, you know, it really kind of turned face for us. And we've been in the business for a long time. We've been helping patients for a long time, and you know, in that process, we've worked with a lot of different supplement companies and nutrition programs, and this just turned out to be something that was incredibly simple, cost-effective, and the fact that patients saw results. It was just kind of the trifecta of information and results for us that we were looking for.
Well, very cool. I love to hear doctors talk about, you know, how things have they've seen change for their patients with our products. How many people would you say that you have placed on Plexus since you started?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. I would say it's got to be in the neighborhood of probably close to 100 patients so far, and we've had the product in our office, about 4.5 months probably.
Wow, 4.5 months. Very cool. Are you also pursuing the ambassador side of it and recruiting new people?
Yes, we are, because one of the unique things, from my opinion, is the fact that patients can not only see great results in their own health, but when they're seeing great results, people are going to ask them how they're getting those results. And as a result of that, if they just talk about it and share their experience and share their journey with other people, then they can get their own product paid for. And gosh, in today's economic times, if people can earn a little extra money along the way too, what a great benefit for everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very good. Um, let me throw this at you. Since you are a chiropractor and more on the natural side of everything, what is your feelings about our Probio 5?
Well, that's probably one of my favorite products. In fact, I put almost all of the patients on the Probio 5. We've worked with probiotics for many, many years, just because, in my opinion, almost everybody needs them.
Mm-hmm.
And we truly have not seen a probiotic that functions and works as quickly as this one does for patients, to the point where they really see some great results. So I like the fact that it was specifically formulated for the Candida process, and really helps people overcome those issues that so many people have.
Yeah. Now, Give me some of those issues that you would recommend the probiotic for.
Well, first off, anybody who's ever been on an antibiotic has probably had enough good bacteria die off in their intestinal tract that they need to at least re-inoculate. Many of the patients that we see, again, are dealing with inflammatory syndromes, and so much of that inflammatory-based disease is found as a result of intestinal tract dysfunction due to yeast overgrowth. Patients who are experiencing the brain fog, the fatigue, the joint aches and pains, the typical things that you see from the traditional Candida die-off, bloating, all those kind of things, hormone imbalances. We virtually put almost every patient we can on a probiotic, and the Probio 5 has really kind of become our mainstay product in our office.
Wow. I know I mentioned earlier my dad had a incurable lung disease that we ended up with chiropractic and homeopathic help with because there was no conventional medicine for it. And that was when I learned about a probiotic. That was about 10, 12 years ago now, and have always been on some sort of probiotic just to help out. And I know that when I did my research, I found that our probiotic had so much in it that I was just very impressed with it compared to what I was finding in natural food stores. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that. Um, there's food sources out there that tout that you're going to get some probiotic from them, and you do get some, but things like yogurt and those kind of things just don't have enough of a delivery system or enough population of probiotic in them to really long-term do you much good.
Right.
So the fact that we're using a product that's got, I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 26 billion bacterium in it, um, that's a level that's really going to clinically provide you with some excellent symptom relief.
Right, right, right. We, as a family, started using the probiotics and everything then. So that was one of those things that has just been part of my family's regimen since then. So tell me, have you had results with Plexus Slim?
Myself personally,
Yes.
yes, I absolutely have. Um, I have had gallbladder pain for years and years, and so I really have to watch what I eat. And lo and behold, as we all do, every once in a while I eat enough of the wrong stuff that I get that traditional pain in my right side and
Mm-hmm.
the cramping and all those things. And I've dealt with it on and off for years, and been able to manage it pretty well for the most part. And I've had the ultrasounds done on it and all those things to find out what's going on, and it just at times functions at a low rate when I overload it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a good friend who's a surgeon, and he's always told me, anytime, doc, you're ready to take that out, we'll be happy to. But of course, as a naturally based physician, that's not really what I want to do, because it does have some purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, from the first pink drink that I took, I could feel my pain easing away. And every day now, when I drink my pink drink, that gallbladder just feels as good and functions as well as it's supposed to. So for me, just the pink drink alone has been an amazing thing. In fact, somebody asked me the other day if all I could take was one thing. For myself personally, it would have to be the pink drink, because it makes me feel so good, and helps with my digestion and my gallbladder issues. And you know, we're seeing the same results with our patients as well.
I know. I don't even have a regular physician. You know, I go occasionally. Very rarely. I only go to see my chiropractor for things, and for years, I had gallbladder issues and fussed at me that, you know, I had to get this under control, I had to do this and that and the other, and like everybody else, yeah, okay, whatever. I just want to eat red meat. That's what seems what's to set it off, you know, which I'm a carnivore. I love some steak and everything. So,
Me too.
you know, so I was like, okay, this is really just horrible, and before I was introduced to Plexus, I did have my gallbladder taken out, and you know, I know it had its function, and I hate now that I had not. I just, yeah, I had wondered if Plexus would have made a difference or not. So that's good to hear, that I can pass that little bit of information on to friends that are suffering from the same thing, and everything, because I know it was absolutely miserable. You know, I could have that steak, but I would pay for it in the end.
Yep, absolutely. And that Slim really helps. It's a combination of ingredients, and this is one of the things that my research kind of uncovered for us, was the fact that it really helps with the conversion of trans fats and so forth in the liver. So your liver just functions a little bit more smoothly. You know, in the process, you digest things better, and the gallbladder works less.
Right. Absolutely. Well, you know, is there one thing that you would give as a tip or as a turning factor to anybody who's on the edge of trying Plexus or any of our products?
There's probably not just one thing, because everybody reaches the plateau of you know, wanting to get healthy for a different reason, and is in a different state of health. But you know, the one thing, if you're on the fence and you're thinking about trying the products, jump off the fence, because Plexus has made it so simple just to even try the product. Get a 7-day kit, try the Slim, try the Accelerator. I highly encourage people to get on the Probio 5. You know, those things at a minimum in the beginning. And I think you're going to find that you're going to see results with something very early on with the program. And you know, once you kind of understand how the products work and how simple they are to take, then the synergy that's created by taking all the products together, to me, is really the win-win for everybody. You know, everybody needs a multivitamin, so the X factor comes into play, and everybody gets hungry periodically, so the Plexus 96 shake comes in as a great, you know, mid-afternoon snack or whatever. The Accelerator to boost that extra energy in the very beginning of your weight loss journey. You know, all those things just work so well together, and that's one of my favorite things about the Plexus program, is the fact that the products are all designed to work together. So, and I hear a lot of people, and this isn't just Plexus people, this is just people in general, because I think this is human nature. We get frustrated because we hear about somebody else's success. And we've heard this all day long, because I've been listening since 9 o'clock this morning. Don't judge your success by the success of others. Everybody's success is going to be different. So be patient with the products. Have a goal in mind of where you want to get that's reasonable in the first couple of weeks. And be patient. Before you start, don't just weigh yourself, because the scale will fool you. Make sure you measure too. That's incredibly important. My office manager and business partner, Marissa, she's a great testament to really how that process works. She's lost, I think, 18 to 20 pounds since she started Plexus. But more importantly, she's lost even more inches than that. And that's really, in the process of getting healthy, it's not just losing weight that affects the scale. It's losing those inches so your clothes fit better, so you're thinner, so people notice you, because that's really what people notice, is the thinning down of you and the loss of inches. So I've heard people say, well, Plexus didn't work for me, and they've taken it for a minute and a half, and the scale didn't change, of course, and they didn't measure themselves, so they really don't have any way to judge how the product's working. So, just be patient and get off the fence and try it, because it works.
Right, and I think that's a great point, that you've got to be consistent with it. You can't take it for 3 days and then be off a day or two and then go back to it and expect it to do what it's supposed to do. You got to do everything consistently and give it a shot. Don't just drop it like that. And I'm totally with you on the fact that people see what you look like, not what the scales say.
That's right. Nobody sees the scale but you and maybe your doctor or spouse or somebody, but everybody sees those inches melting away.
I know I am the first to say, oh my gosh, your face is so much thinner, or something like that with people that after they've been on Plexus for a month or two and they've, lost a significant amount of inches. I think just about every medical professional we've had on today has said something about the fact that inches lost and where you lose inches. It's not in your typical, places that you would necessarily think about losing inches, but you are losing that, and the fact that you are does mean that you're losing fat.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And it just seems to melt away if you just really pay attention to it.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, I appreciate you being on with us today and giving us a little bit of your time and all out of your busy schedule. I'm glad you were not at a speaking engagement prior to already this weekend and were able to fit us in. God worked that out for us. So be careful out there in the ice. We just went through that this week here in Pensacola, Florida, with I think we had something like 1/4 of an inch of ice. We were just shut down because we don't have any way of dealing with ice here in the panhandle of Florida.
Yeah, no kidding. Ice is not fun.
No, we kept hoping for snow, and we didn't get snow. We got ice. So anyway, but thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, and I want to really thank you for putting this together. This is an amazing event. I've been listening all day, and the information and speakers have been just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to leave everybody with one little thought. That's okay.
Sure.
When you're taking the products, and I see conversations about this all the time on Facebook, when you're taking the products, what we have noticed and found with people is there's not one single way and formula to take the products. You have to work with it sometimes and figure out the process and the variations that work best for you. So be patient and work with your upline people and the people that presented the product to you, and work with your doctors and nutritionists and everybody else. And people in our upline email me and Facebook me all the time with questions and things. So find somebody that can help you, because the products work. Plexus is a great program, and you will see success.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and we hope that when we get back to doing another one of these, that we can have you on again. It's just been such a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, and we'll get the video to work next time too.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was Dr. Michael, he's a chiropractor, gave some fabulous information. I hope you guys have been listening today and soaking this stuff up. We have had some really great testimonies, and some doctors and pharmacists who have spoken with us that have given just invaluable information out there on our products and on what they're doing for themselves and other people.